Okay, good morning. Just a real quick video. Uh, I'm old school, and you can probably tell, gray hair, old guy. You know, uh, I started out life in West Tennessee, and I was raised by a bunch of people that very few of them were born basically after 1908. Most of them were born before 1900. Some as far back as the late 1860s, as I had an aunt that was 107 back in 1968. So most of the people that raised me were very old school people. Of course, we got people nowadays that say, oh, they were narrow minded and ignorant. Well, whatever, you know, they aren't full of information that most people who are thinking people would consider just crap. But I want to talk about the coronavirus right quick. First off, anybody know the size of the virus and the fluid capsule it lives in? The total combined size is 3/10 of a micron. Do you know what the very best mask that they're putting on people will do? It will stop 95% of particulate matter, which, a virus is a particulate matter. 3 microns and larger, not 3 microns and smaller, 3 microns and larger. So I just want people to understand the entire size of a single coronavirus is 3/10 of a micron. Those masks you're wearing are not going to stop the virus. And the longer you wear that mask, let's say it does stop the first few viruses that comes through. And when we say few, we're probably talking in orders of thousands of virus. And what happens is that little fluid capsule is disrupted and the virus dies very quickly once that happens. But as that mask becomes saturated, the fibers allow other virus to pass clean through it. So it's worthless. I'm just telling you, it's absolutely worthless. Yet, we have a whole segment of our population that'll walk out their front door, and the whole time they're not in their house, they're going to wear that mask. And I just find that to be unbelievable. There's just no free people, not that many left. Now, being as I'm old school, and I was raised, I'm starting in Tennessee. When I come to Texas, at age of 14, I'm 63 now, so quite some time ago. It's pretty much the same here, you know. Your property is your property, and nobody has a right to violate that property in any way unless they have your permission. So I own several acres, and it's posted, and if you violate that, then you're going to be met with force. One way or another, either law enforcement or me and my tractor, whatever it is, I'm going to get you off. Okay? You gone. Now, I'm just going to also mix in a few things. You are not entitled to, at that point, the use of deadly force. Just force. Deadly force would only be acceptable is if you got the people off your land and they were so angry they came back with a weapon to get even with you, then you would just be justified in the use of deadly force. But one of the things, we were taught, like I said, is private property. You respect the rights of the property owner. The property owner says, don't carry no weapons on my property, then, you're obligated to not carry a weapon. All right? That's integrity of the person and the ethical integrity as well. That if you're called upon to do a certain thing, you're going to go onto a man's property, you respect what he wishes. Okay, so if I'm going to go to Brookshire Brothers and go grocery shopping and they require a mask, then without attitude or anything, I wear that mask to go into the store. But I don't wear it from my vehicle all the way through a hot parking lot, and shop and then, wear the thing back outside all the way to my vehicle. I put the mask on before I enter their door, and as soon as I exit their door, the mask comes right off. Outside, I'm not wearing no mask. In my vehicle, I'm not wearing a mask. At home, I'm not wearing a mask. I also am not going to shun my neighbors. Okay? Now, let's just all be clear. I'm not a people person. I've almost always social distanced in my life. Being alone, folks, I'll tell you the truth. I am my own best friend. I can spend time alone, and it don't bother me for nobody to be around. If you want to know the truth, I prefer it. I have my wife and my small family, and I'm happy with that. But I have some good neighbors. God has blessed me with some honest neighbors, and it's nice. And we have some new ones coming in, and they're really nice people, and we're glad they're coming. So we have no problem with neighbors, and we have no problem with people, but we are not people. We're just not people persons. We're not. And some people say, well, you're a Christian, you should be a people person. No. If you go to the book of Timothy and read where Paul wrote Timothy about perilous times, he said to have nothing to do with certain kinds of people. And, if I want to talk to somebody about the gospel and they don't want to hear it and they're adamant about it, I just walk away. I'm not going to push my beliefs on anybody else. It's a personal choice, folks. It's always a personal choice. But the one thing is you're obligated to do, and no legislature in this country can tell you otherwise, is if it's my land, it's my land. If I tell you not to come on it, don't come on it. See? And if I tell you can come on it, but you got to wear a mask and you can't be armed, then take off your arms and put on your mask. Or don't come on the property. And that's the way a lot of business owners look at it here in Texas. There are just as many businesses that do not require a mask. Okay? And it's, here we have a choice. That's what we have here in Texas so far. And I know a lot of people are jumping on Greg Abbott, and I believe it's justified because he has really caused a lot of small businesses to go belly up with his antics. And I think he's going to lose his next bid for office to a stronger conservative. And, we always want a strong conservative here in Texas because, by and large, that's what we are. And I know we got a bunch of New Yorkers and Californians and all that kind of stuff here. And there's, there's really nothing you could do about them. Not in a free country where you're free to move about and travel. But if you're a Texan and you want independence and a free Texas again, a free Republic of Texas, then I urge you to support Texit. Okay, the Texas Nationalist Movement, and it's just the name of a group. They are a very pro-constitutional, freedom-oriented group of people who have joined together, have actually drafted a document called the Texas Independence Act, and we're trying to get it on the ballot so we can vote and get our freedom from Washington, D.C. And I think there's a lot of people that don't understand what being a member of the United States costs Texas just in money and costs its people. We would make as much as 20% more on our paychecks. Okay, you would not lose your Social Security. Deals will be worked out when Texas does leave the Union. We will have to carry our share of the national debt. We don't get to walk away without it. But the math has been done, and I'm not going to quote numbers because that's not what I'm good at. I mean, I'm good with numbers, but not other people's numbers and their figures. I have looked at them, and they make sense. But we could pay our share of the debt off pretty quick because of what we make in Texas and what we stand to make in Texas. See, and right now Texas loses $175 billion annually. We overpay in taxes to the federal government, and we are paying to support other states. And that's wrong, folks. You know, we need to be taking care of people in Texas. We're a big state. We are a nation-sized state, and we should be a nation. And I urge you to get a book, How and Why Texas Will Leave the Union. It's by Daniel Miller. It is a very reasoned and detailed explanation of what a free Texas will look like, free from federal regulations. It doesn't mean that we abandon, common sense. We want, clean water, clean air. We want all of those things, but we don't want it to be a God we worship, okay? And we want the people want to have a voice. And no government has a right to come on to another man's property and say, well, I see you have this little pond here. Well, this is ours. No, it ain't. It's mine. I built it. It's mine. That's how it is. And that's how it's always going to be. And I don't got to share what I have with anybody. Now, the fact that I will, if there's a need, if the Spirit of God leads me, yes. But if you come to my place and say, hey, you have that, you need to share it. Well, I can tell you the first words out of my mouth are going to be, hey, you can kiss my ass. Basically, man, you're not going to come here and be a socialist. And I don't have to accept your lifestyle. I don't have to accept anything about you. And you don't have to accept anything about me. But do like I do. I let you live and be you. You do the same thing for me. Leastwise, we stay at peace that way. But you come at me looking to force stuff on me, we're not going to be at peace. And I can guarantee you, I'm walking away when all is said and done. Anyway, that's my quick video. And it's not that quick, but it's quick enough. I want everybody to know, man, freedom ain't gone, but it starts here and here. Okay? It ain't out there because some government says you got it, or because it's wrote in the Constitution. Read the Constitution. Those first 10 amendments are our inalienable rights. They can't be taken. You're born with them. Government didn't grant them, and neither did that document. We already had them. And I'm not turning loose of them. And to Joe Biden, make your mask mandate. See how many people obey it. I can tell you, I'm not gonna. And you ain't gonna make me. None of you are. But I'm gonna respect the people's property that I go on to who want me to wear one, because I'm an honest man and I respect their property and I respect their right to make the rules on their property. All right? Y'all have a good day. God bless you. And please don't forget, our Lord is coming soon. Look for him. Look for him several times a day, because he's going to be here before you know it. All right. Bye, y'all.